looking forward to getting on the field with the starting group of five in an actual game?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to it. We're preparing for it. We still have things to iron out and get better, and we're trying to improve every day. But yeah, we have a lot of anticipation coming for the first game, and yeah, for sure.
Is there any sort of uncertainty about how it's going to all come together? I know obviously you guys have been in the joint practices with the 49ers, but you haven't been in an actual game environment. Is there any part of you that's a little like, we'll see what happens when you guys actually get on the field?
Yeah, there's going to be that. There's going to be things that come along that adversity that we haven't faced, different situations. Guys are going to throw different looks at us, and that's the nature of the beast. But I think the biggest thing that we've done all preseason during camp, we've communicated really well. We've worked to solve problems really well, and that gives us a lot of confidence moving forward. So when we do face things during the game, we can quickly adjust to them and move forward.
You said recently about your relationship with Justin that it was a work in progress. How do you feel like now that training camp's over and the season's about a week away, how do you feel like that relationship has grown?
Yeah, I feel like we've got a great relationship going. We're able to bounce things off of each other, and we've been talking about different things that, I might have seen it a certain way in Green Bay. He might have seen it a certain way here last year. And so just being able to talk through all of that, again, builds that level of comfort you have going into the games where you have situations where we got to get something figured out on the sideline, and that all makes it easier and smoother.
What stood out to you about him, not like I said, I know that the training camp's over and you guys have had some practices, some joint practices together?
Yeah, I mean, he's everything that you read's true. He's really talented. He's a great dude, hardworking, smart. All the attention he gets, he deserves. So, and he's easy to work with too, for sure. And that goes a long way with all five of us, being able to communicate again with the quarterback. We all have to, and especially receivers. Everybody's he's running the show. So it's been nice to get to know him, and it's been nice that everything that you hear is true.
Since you got here in the spring, just how much ownership have you seen from Justin in terms of taking ownership of protection calls and stuff at the line of scrimmage? How much has he grown in that area over the last 6 months or so?
Yeah, for sure. He's mastering the offense. Again, we all have things to improve on. We all got to continue to grow and continue to. There's going to be things that unfold that we got to address. But every step of the way, his leadership is fantastic. The way that he conducts himself, the operation. You've seen little things that might have gone wrong at the beginning of camp not go wrong anymore, and all of that. Again, solving problems builds confidence for us. So that everything that. All the work that he's put in has paid off, and now it's about moving forward.
Coach just referenced your ability to partner with your quarterback and kind of make the quick adjustments when needed, and do that on the fly. How has that process been with Justin? And then the symmetry, obviously you spent 5 years over there in Green Bay. The symmetry here, how long do you expect that to take to kind of get to a point where you want it to be?
I mean, again, it's always a work in progress. It's always about, again, like solving problems, all that stuff. The communication is key. I hope it doesn't take too long. And honestly, it's just everything. There's going to be things, just like we've been talking about. There's going to be new issues that arise. There's going to be new plays that we put in. There's going to be new snap counts we go on and everything. Our ability to discuss that, solve it quickly, and move forward. That's what really matters. That's at the crux of the whole thing is being able to solve problems. And I feel like we're at a point right now where we can do that. Now it's just about, repetitions. It's about, in-game adjustments. It's about all of that. But the relationship, I feel like, not only we have, but also the whole offense really with Justin, is fantastic. And I don't, our ability to solve those problems, I feel like we got a good grip on that, and now we just got to go out and do it.
In the run game, the relationship with the running backs, obviously there'll be different running backs who come in there with different styles. How do you adjust to that? How does your offensive line as a group kind of adjusted to different running backs?
Yeah, I mean, it's not too crazy. It's very different. There's, I guess, different techniques that they do and different ways they have to run things. But our run game plan is kind of built. The structure of it. Everybody kind of operates within those parameters, and it's not too. There's some adjustments and everything, and those adjustments that I make, that Justin makes. The backs have to be in tune with that. So that's a communication thing, and I feel like us, all of our running backs have been fantastic with all of the communication that we have to do with the line of scrimmage, and that's really what I guess is the biggest thing. And also in protection, adjustments in protection. Again, they've been great. If we have an issue, the next practice we solve it, and that's really what it's all about.
Well, Justin, being a rookie last year, all the games that he started were in empty stadiums, basically, that didn't have crowd noise. Is that something you guys have talked about? Have you shared any of your experiences as far as how to operate when you're on the road and there's a lot of crowd noise, just because it's something Justin hasn't done?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on our cadence, our silent cadence in practice, and it's kind of been a point of emphasis heading into Washington because obviously it's an away game. They got a big stadium. It's going to be loud. So that's something that we're going to, again, going back to in-game adjustments, that's something that, if there's an issue with it, if the timing isn't right, that's what we're working to figure out and really make the process as smooth as we possibly can. But otherwise, I mean, he's played in loud stadiums and everything. He doesn't need to hear anything from us that he hadn't already experienced.
Have you played preseason in the past? Is this a new thing for you this year? Did you not play at all, or did you not play some?
There was one year where I only played in one game at 20 snaps, but yeah, I mean, this is new, relatively.
And this wasn't anything where you had any concerns or just?
No,
I think where Pop was going was the idea that the first time you guys are out there together, it's going to be an actual game.
Yeah, for sure. And there's going to be issues. We got to solve them. But all in all, I feel like, especially with those practices against the 49ers, I felt like we had a good operation. Felt like logistically everything went pretty smooth. And that, from what you're speaking about, I think that's the most important thing. So, we have a level of confidence, and now it's just about going out there and doing it.
Corey, we keep asking about chemistry and how it's all going to look when the game starts. Are you kind of excited to have a good challenge off the bat with Washington, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, to kind of see right away if you guys are together? Yeah,
I mean, they're a good D-line. They got a good front seven. They're talented, and they play hard. So, yeah, just like you said, it's going to be a tough test week one, and we got to bring it. So, for sure.
There was a couple of days where Brian was out, or Sean was out. Was that kind of hard to bring them back in? Or did it seem pretty smooth to have all that chemistry right back?
No, I felt like them coming right back in. Those two guys, Brian and Rashawn, they work hard. They're pros, and even though Rashawn's a rookie, he's out there, working his footwork, doing everything he needs to do. And I don't feel like there was any any commotion with them coming back in.
I know Brian is the best, and from the Green Bay days to now, and I know he's been in and out with some injuries. Just talking to him, how's he doing with all that mentally and physically?
He's good. I feel like, Brian's played for 12 years, and he's had injuries in the past, and it's a struggle. I can attest to it myself. It's a struggle for every player. I feel like when they get hurt, but Brian's been through it before. He's working, he's doing his stuff. He knows what it takes to play in this league. So, there's no concern from his end.
Hey, Corey, you played with LaFleur the last couple of years in Green Bay, quote unquote, an offensive coach. And now you play with Staley, quote unquote, the defense. So both happen to be a McVay disciple, if you will. What are the similarities that you see, and then the differences playing with the defensive head, quote unquote, head coach, if you will?
Yeah, I obviously, Coach LaFleur was in a lot more meetings, and obviously Coach Staley's working a lot more with the defense. Otherwise, I feel like they're from at least a similar tree, and they. So like the flow of things and everything is kind of similar, and other than that, I mean, they're different in their own ways, But other than not being in meetings, it's not too crazy.
Corey, what impressed you the most about Rashawn?
You know what, all of his, everybody can see his physical attributes, you know. You can watch film on him and see what he's good at and what he's, you know, areas that he excels at. But I think in the classroom, in the meeting rooms, he's a pro's pro already. He knows, you know, he has to be on mentally almost more than physically half the time, you know, and that's something that, you know, was an adjustment for me, is an adjustment for a lot of players, a lot of young players coming in this league. But for him, he's been a pro's pro since day one and knows the offense, knows the adjustments, and again, solving problems. It's, you know, we have an issue. He said, hey, what was it on? What was the snap count? What was the call? Whatever, we talk about it. He fixes it, and that's and we move forward. So I think that's the biggest thing that's caught my eye with him outside of his, obviously he's physically talented, but he's sharp too.